Hi everyone, my name is Jason of the blog Jason D. Moore Photography, and today we're going to walk through a technique used to create Web 2.0 reflections used in Apple ads and really popping up all over the internet nowadays. First thing we need to do is create a spotlight effect on our background layer, and to do this we're going to select our gradient tool out of the toolbar, and up in the options panel we're going to select right on the gradient to open our gradient editor. First thing we're going to do is select the left hand stop and click on the color swatch in order to select our first color. For this effect to work properly we need to select a lighter color. In this case I'm going to use a light red, and click OK. And on the right hand side, once again click on the stop itself and then click on the color swatch, and you need to click on a darker shade. I would generally suggest to use a similar color. In this case I used a red to start with and use a darker red for the second, but see what you like, go nuts. And click OK. Next we'll click OK again, and back on our main background layer for our document, simply click somewhere in the center and drag outwards. And you'll see that it creates a nice little spotlight effect going from light to dark, highlighting that center section. The next thing we'll do is, with black as our foreground color, we're going to select our rectangular shape tool in order to create a surface which our photo or other object will sit on. Simply click and drag in the lower part of your screen, of your document, and you'll have a dark surface for your image. What I'm going to do now is use an image that I took last February of my wife and I shortly before we were engaged. Placing an image automatically makes it a smart object, and later on as we replace this image to show you some variations, you'll notice that it will become a lot easier working with smart objects as opposed to going through all the steps over and over again whenever you want to change the image. So first of all, once the image is placed, simply click on the check mark up in your options bar to commit the changes and to actually place the object. Next we will duplicate the layer by holding down the Control key on PC or Command on Mac and the letter J. With the lower layer selected, we will hold Command or Control T and right click or control click in order to open up our options and select Flip Vertical. And then once that happens, it's the lower layer, so we won't see it there, but once it's actually changed, commit the transform by hitting return or selecting the check mark in the upper corner. Now, with your move tool selected, by hitting the V key, hold down your shift key and simply drag down until the lower edge of the image intersects. Next, lower the opacity of that upside down layer somewhere down around 30 to 40%. You can already see the effect starting to take shape. The next step is to add a layer mask to the reflected layer. Let's do that by selecting this little washing machine icon at the bottom of the screen here. Next we'll go back over to our gradient tool and drop down our gradient selector and select a black to white gradient. This time make sure that you are no longer on the radial gradient but on the linear gradient. With the layer mask selected, simply click lower in your image, dragging upward, holding your shift key down to maintain a straight line for your gradient, and let go somewhere where the two images intersect. And there you have it. You can see a nice little gradient that makes it seem as though it is falling off as it would in reality. Now, like I said earlier, you can use this over and over again and insert different pictures or images or objects because we made it a smart object to start with, without having to worry about replacing the image and then duplicating it, flipping it, and replacing the gradient once again. What you do is simply right click on PC or command click on Mac right on the name of the layer and select the option Replace Contents. And then you select an image that is pretty much the same dimensions as the original image you used. Double click on it And there you go. You can see that the original image has been replaced with the new one. You don't have to go through the hassle of duplicating, flipping, moving, and then adding another gradient mask in order to make it work. Hope you guys had fun with this one. Please, as always, if you have come up with an interesting way of using this technique, send it along. Let me see what you've come up with. And until next time, my name is Jason Moore of the blog Jason D. Moore Photography. You can visit me and see what else I'm coming up with at www.jasondmoore.com/blog. And we'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.